Welcome. After viewing this video, you'll know how to use Veritas Alta View alerts to enhance your Veritas Net Backup management. All right, so alerts, there's three major pieces really to an alert. One of those is called the notification. So the alert notification is the action that will occur should an alert trigger. And in Alta Analytics, you have two choices: email or an SNMP trap. So an alert notification gets a name. So we could call this video demo. And that is whatever that means, whatever title that is, we're going to say that the email that we would want to have happen would be, say, sending to this somebody's name. Then the next piece, there's two kind of major categories of alerts. One of those is a large pool of what we call alert policies. Another name for this could have been alert templates, in the sense that for each of these categories that we see, you really get to specify rules behind it that help you to truly refine what's going to happen and what conditions make you refine the alert. So as an example, you'll see a large number of net backup prefixed alert rules that Ops Center users in particular will be very familiar. In many cases, these names are like for like. The way that you configure them will be a little bit different, but the titles are the same. So let's pick on one called catalog space low. Alert policy is just a title, my alert. And you probably would want to put something in, if you wish, catalog space. Symptom frequency, I should say, is one of the couple of efforts inside of these policy configurations to help reduce spam. So by default, every time that a condition that you specify within the alert condition is met, it would trigger the alert going out the door. You can see that there may be cases, for example, where you want to reduce jitter. It may be an event that flashes in the pan, and you really don't want to take any action unless you see, for example, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5, or it may be a consecutive. If you put in a consecutive, then you would specify, for example, 3 times. If I don't see this alert fire 3 consecutive times or trigger, it's not going to, no action will be taken. Again, every time is the default there. For many alerts, you actually have the ability to set a warning and a critical threshold. So in the case of catalog space low, we'll see in just a moment that I could have a warning alert go out to, for example, a notification rule called test. And if it gets to be critical, then it's going to go to my support team. The net email subject for these by default would match the rule. So if you don't set an email subject, if it were an alert rule, email would come out with a net backup catalog space low as a header. The other way to control spam is for checking for existing alerts. So this is a nice feature if you need to allow, or of course want to allow, for example, your hands and feet team to resolve an issue rather than just being continually bombarded with the notification that a problem exists. Check existing alerts will essentially say, if I've already sent a catalog space low alert, I won't do it. I will not send another one for whatever the look back hours are. So if we said, for example, we want to allow our team 24 hours to deal with most tickets, then that would be how we could make sure that we're not spamming them with constant messages of the same issue. Scope is where we would dictate for, the topic is catalog space low. We're going to specify what is the conditions for our catalog space low. We're going to specify what file where our catalog is retained. I'm just going to make up a path here. And as I add that query, we see these conditions being built. So we're saying all primary servers, in the case where the file system equals the USR location, then I can, that's my query, apply that. And then the other thing is our threshold. So I mentioned that you could have a different threshold for an alert trigger at a warning level versus a critical level. So we could go in and say, for example, if my available percentage is, let's see, less than or equal to 70%, I want a warning. And if it's 60%, it's correct. And if I had collected data, it even activate that option here, show a baseline of how we've trended over time. I don't have that in here, so it's not displayed. So that is the dialogue, an example of an alerting rule. We've talked about how to control spam, too much activity. Obviously, I would want to, if I'm ready to make this alert live, I would want to click the active option here and then save it. Going back to alert policy administration, just as a reminder, there are many, many rules. A couple of the ones that may not immediately jump out at you that are often asked about are particularly job finalized. How do I, when I see certain error conditions, status codes coming out of my jobs, how do I set those up for ticketing? And that would be job finalized. So to configure a job finalized, it's going to be familiar. Give it a name. You specify what happens if the alert triggers. And then what's interesting here is the scope. So you could specify based on product, of course, would be net backup. Job type could be, if you want to focus around a particular job type, you can put that into your criteria. You want to focus on only exit codes from a particular primary server or set of primary servers, that's great. And then you'll note the asterisk indicates something that's required is you have to specify at minimum what exit statuses you want to include or exclude from your alert. So a common one that you probably would be not equal to, i.e. don't send an alert, it's a 150. That would be something that your hands and feet operator has restarted. You don't need to notify them of an action they themselves took. So you can build these up. This list could also, in our options here, you can do is a member of. So if you wanted to put in a comma separated list of exit statuses that you want to be the basis of your alert, if you see those exit statuses, the alert would fire. You're welcome to do that as a member of, or in the inverse of that would be not a member of. So not a member of could be 150 plus any other exit statuses you wanted to not trigger an alert on. You'll find, particularly for Op Center users, many of these are going to be very, very familiar titles to you.